Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today is Tuesday the 13th. Tomorrow is Wednesday the 14th. And I go for my doctor's appointment. And then I have a doctor's appointment Friday with the eye doctor about my eyes, where I had the swelling and stuff behind my right eye. I have to ask them if it's okay for me to continue taking the medicine they gave me, or if I stop taking the medicine, or if there's something else they can give me so the way it doesn't hurt the baby. I haven't been taking the medicine in like 2 weeks now, and my vision has been okay. It's a little bit like blurry, but it's nothing major. It could be like when I'm looking out, because right now I'm looking out the kitchen screen door, and it could be the screen door that's a little bit dirty and needs to be cleaned, and it's bothering my eyes. But yeah, you guys will have already got the update about everything, because this video will be posted a little bit late. The video that's going to be about the baby and about the eye doctor will be posted earlier on before this video is uploaded. So I'm gonna stop talking, and we are going to continue reading on Melody or Soulmate. We're on page 259. We have 22 pages left of this chapter, and then and then we're finished, and we can go on to the next chapter, and hopefully we get this story finished up and done with pretty soon. Okay. Hand up, Zach asked, reaching past Catherine. I think we should leave you here in the snow, Catherine said, reaching for Logan in turn. Instead of taking her offered hand, he clenched Zach's. Hold on, mate. You too, my little Sheila. With a sharp pull, he lifted Zach out of the drift, Catherine clinging to him and coming along for the ride. My word, she said to Logan, once she was on her feet. You must be able to bench press a train. Ginger snuggled against her husband, looking up with a smile. Zach rolled his eyes as the two of them kissed, and Catherine giggled, knowing that at the moment they weren't much better than the happy couple, and she wouldn't change it for the world. Zach loved that Catherine was enjoying the hike. She seemed to savor all the same things he did, from the fresh air to any excuse to hold her in his arms. His favorite was to stand behind her, one arm around her waist as he leaned in close so he could line up his other arm like a sling for her eyes to trace along a potential tree higher up the mountain. He was pretty sure Catherine was onto him, since every tree had chosen had been awful, but she didn't seem to mind the game. Up here he felt as though he could focus on real life rather than the puzzle that had been defected Logan, Scott, and himself last night. They'd been sitting in the large log structure that served as the town's police station, quietly sorting through Scott's meager evidence from last week's break-ins, when a call had come in for another forced entry. They'd gone out as soon as Scott was off the phone, trying to catch up with the thieves as they hit 3 places in a row. The 3 of them had spread out confident. They met with success in his small town they knew so well. At one point, Zach had thought he seen someone on foot, but by the time he reached the end of the street in his Land Rover, the shadows were empty. He got home 4 hours later, defeated, his mind buzzing with details that wouldn't translate into anything solid enough to offer Scott as a possible lead. Catherine had been up feeding Xavier and had wanted to chat, but Zach, feeling bad, had slipped away at the first opportunity so he could sit down in his office and think. But today was about him and Catherine as well as himself, Catherine and Xavier as a family. Zach's heart expanded in his chest, a bubble of happiness bloating inside him. There was something about Catherine that allowed them to connect. With her, it felt as though he had enough to give, and that what he did give, she cherished and appreciated, flaws and all. Catching up with her and Xavier again, he dropped the cable for his own sled and picked her up, swinging her in a circle even though it meant the two of them would get wrapped in the cord of Xavier's sled. He buried his face in her scarf, burrowing to the fresh flesh of her neck so he could kiss her, inhale her. He held her close and her body softened into his. "How did I ever find you?" she asked, when he put her down again. "Best online shopping day of my life." She laughed and playfully patted his chest with her mitten. He glanced inside to snug a visual of Xavier, who was still right set up in his little sled, despite the way Zach just spun his mother around. Then his attention was right back on Catherine and those gorgeous blue eyes that were filled with so much wonder, peace, and happiness. He had put that there. He had made her smile, relax. She had let him in. "Let this new custom of ours mark the beginning of what will surely be a long and wonderful marriage," he said, brushing a wisp of hair off her cheek. Together they had everything they needed, that special thing nobody else had been able to offer. In fact, he thought as he tipped his head down for a sweet kiss, it might just be perfect.